kwazi ukuthi sizwa njengoba kuthiwa kuzokwenzeka ukumbiwa kwaoyela. Mhlambe ngokwazi kwethu mhlambe akuzukuba khona yini ubungozi okungenzeka mhlambe olwandle lwethu ukumbiwa kwaoyela kwenzeke nje iphutha uoyela uchitheke. Mawuchitheka uoyela thina ke badobi esiphila ngokuyiphilisa ngendlela yokuthi iyona ndlela esikwazi ukondla ngayo abantwana bethu nemndeni yethu. But if usuchithekile kuoyela cause vele anizi kusitshela lokho ukuthi iphutha elinjalo lingenzeka. Sizokwenza njani ngoba ukuchitheka kwaoyela kuzobe ngcolisa ulwandle lwethu okuyilona esiphila ngalo esilisebenzisa zonke izinsuku.
We just want to know your mitigation and your adaptation measures to control things like spillage of oil in the sea, since we live on fishing. So we may not even be informed on time when such things happen. So we just want to know what measurements have you got in place to regulate that.
Okunye uma selingcolile ke lo lwandle vele inhlanzi thina esiphila ngazo zobe seyifile. Inhlanzi ke nje ifuna amanzi aclean. Mawukuthi sekukhona amafutha vele izofa inhlanzi angithi.
If there's a
Thina
small
ke senze
spillage,
njani?
fish will die, and what are we going to live on? How are we going to continue with our lives?
Okunye ngizwe ubaba ethi kunendlela zokuthi nizovikela imvelo. Nizoyivikela kanjani imvelo cause ufishi lapha leyamkhumbi ezobifika lapho olwandle. Kunomsindo othile ozobe wenzeka the time nimba lo oyela. Inhlanzi vela izwani ke nomsindo sizobaleka vele inhlanzi. Okusho ukuthi thina la ogwini njengabantu esiyiphilisayo sobe singasakwazi ukuyiphilisa.
I hear that there's going to be environment assessments and environment studies, but as those ships come or as the mining operation is taking place, fish don't like the sound. So as soon as they hear the sound, fish are going to move further away. So what are we going to live on as people that live on this fishing industry by the coast? Fish, as soon as they hear the sound, they move away from that.
Sizocela nje ukuthi abaphathi bethu mhlambe bayibhekisise ke le ndaba ngoba ngempela asikwazi ukuphila thina la ogwini ngaphandle kolwandle. Siningi ke nezinye izinto zesizulu abakakhulukazi labantu abawo traditional basebenzisa lona lo lwandle. Sicela kubhekwe izinto ezingaba ubungozi ngalo lwandle lwethu kakhulukazi makukhulunywa nje lento ye oil and gas siyacela kakhulu.
We request that our government may reconsider their position on this proposed bill. There is a lot of factors that we coastal people thrive and live on from the sea. There is also another issue of traditional healers who do a lot of rituals on the sea. So when you start this gas mining and gas industry, how are we gonna be taken care of?
Okay, ngiyabonga.
Thank you.
Ngokodwa ngokwami cha bandla mina ngithi umthetho cha. Anguvumeli ukuthi umbolwandle.
Therefore, I reject this proposed bill.
Ngicela ukubingelela bonke abantu abadala bakhona umphakathi amalungu eshaya umthetho sakazwe lonke ikomiti esicabanga ukuthi libaluleke kakhulu sibingelela kakhulu our commissar who is also with us here today. Siyabonga kakhulu.
Greetings to our elders and everybody present, particularly our portfolio committee members and our commissar who is present. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Igama lami ngumthethi Michael Mkhize.
My name is Mteti Michael Mkize.
Ngiqhamuka khona la eReinkonyeni municipality where la nikhona.
I'm from Reinkonyeni municipality where we all are.
Kiyamangaza kakhulu ukuthi laba bakade bebenefita from the past government, no more government who was so brutal to us are with us today, and it's because we are here to talk economy and money. That is why they are so interested today. If you go and attend other things that are not of the economy, you won't see them.
Yamangaza ukuthi laba bazuze kakhulu esikhathini esiphambili uma sithinta indaba zemali nomnotho baphuma ngobuningi uma sikhuluma ngezinye izinto ngeke babone
Yeah, it's because here this thing will touch them.
ngoba le ibathinta ngqo.
Yes. So, on the Gune movement that started 2013, July 26, yaka ama cardinal pillars which asilekelela kakhulu when it comes to amenda or to do other legislation. Our
There is a movement that started in
2013,
2013 that came up with cardinal pillars that help us with
whenever we try to amend or do legislations.
siza ngaso sonke isikhathi uma sifanele sichibiyele umthetho noma siphasise umthetho.
That there is a cardinal pillar number 2 that says we should make sure that we nationalize all economic strategic sectors like a bank, like mines and all other strategic economy streams so that will benefit our people, blacks in particular.
Kunensika esiholayo ethi kufanele ukuthi zonke izimboni ezibalekile ezifana namabhange nezimayini azibe ngaphansi kahulumeni ukuze uquqaba olunsundu luzozuza.
Yes. There is no need for additional legislation for petroleum. If there is a shortfall, we need then to amend MPR, which is a Mineral Petroleum Resource Development Act, to make up those shortfalls. If I personally think we don't need additional legislation that separates for petroleum.
Ngicabanga ukuthi asidingi ukuthi sakhe umthetho omusha odila nepetroleum kodwa fanele sichibiyele lo okhona.
Petroleum, like other minerals, it is a heritage for our people of South Africa, blacks in particular. The state is the one that should oversee on behalf of people of South Africa. However, this bill want to do it makes the state a mere administrator of mining right. All other powers are given to the private sector, which is Onguwankulu, which as a benefit, which benefited for years during colonial system where we were nothing as black people, and even today they are still enjoying such benefits.
Petroleum iyifa labantu base South Africa kakhulukazi abansundu njezinye ezokumbiwa phansi ngakho kufanele iliphathe uhulumeni ngani ngoba lo mthetho sivivinyo lo umenza nje uhulumeni abe umphathi ongamele obukayo ukuthi kwenziwana kodwa hayi umnikazi walelifa labantu abansundu esebevalule ngaphandle isikhathi eside kwezomnotho.
I reject that more power must be given to the private sector for them to enjoy heritage of our people of South Africa.
Ngiyachitha ukuthi lelifa noma lomnotho awunikezwe abamhlophe ukuthi baqhubeke batamuze noma bayititilize ngencebo yalelizwe laseMzansi Afrika.
The state have more power. The state must have more powers.
Uhulumeni noma umbuso mawube namandla angaphezulu.
I recommend that at least ke le ekhulunywayo ukuthi akube khona i-state company that will deal with indawo petroleum. Ngiyayisupport le ayibe khona ngoba iyona that will ezokwenza show ukuthi abantu abamnyama bayangena kwi-economy esinayo. O-Total nabo Shell nabo Engine do not help anywhere ngoba moya khona abantu abasizakala yilabo abamhlophe abantu abamnyama basavalele ngaphandle. I then wish to reject this bill. Thank you.
Ngiyayichitha lo mthetho sivivinyo as is, but I support the state-owned petroleum company because the existing ones are marginalizing our people.
Good afternoon, members of parliament.
Siyabingelela kumalungu eParliament.
Good afternoon to the people that are present here in this meeting.
Sibingelela abantu abakhona la kulo mhlangano.
And thank you for giving us a chance to talk about this bill.
Siyabonga ithuba lesinikeza lona ukuthi sikhulume ngalomthetho sivivinyo.
Yeah, my name is Desmond Disa.
Igama lami Desmond Tesa.
Yeah, let me say outright that the bill must be rejected.
Angisho nje ngokungananazi ukuthi lo mthetho sivivinyo mawuchithwe.
And the members of parliament have come to the right province. This province has experienced a lot of floods. In 2022, we lost over 500 people that were
Amalungu
drowned.
eParliament nikhethe isifundazwe esiyiwona wona ukuthi nize la ngani ngoba ngonyaka odlule kuyikhukhula esabanazo salahlekelwa ngabantu abadlulela kumakhulu amahlanu abashona.
Thousands of people have lost their homes
Inkulungwane zalahlekelwa imizi yabo.
and are living in tents and community halls.
Inkulungwane njengamanje isemaholo zisematendeni.
This bill will increase the exploration of oil and gas that is directly responsible for that climate crisis that everybody in this country is facing.
Lo mthetho sivivinywe othuthukisa ukumbiwa kwegas no-oyela izokwenza ukuthi impilo zabantu zibe nzima kakhulu njengoba sonke sibhekene nokuguquguquka kwesimo sezulu ezweni.
This municipality and the one next to Ugugu has suffered from a water crisis. So we've had droughts in this municipality, but also Northern KZN. We've had lots of droughts where people have suffered not having water.
La kule sifunda sibe sinenkinga sesomiso na ezinye ingxenye za KwaZulu Natal zibe nenkinga yokusweleka kwamanzi isikhathi eside.
So the bill fails the test of really providing a security and protective for the people of this country.
Ngakho lo mthetho sivivinyo ubonakala ungabavikeli abantu balelizwe.
This bill allows the big oil corporations like Shell, Total, Sasol, Eni, ExxonMobil, and all the other rich oil companies from all over the world to come here and destroy what we have that's good.
Lo mthetho sivivinyo ufuna ukunikeza amathuba inkampani ezinkulu ezivela kwamanye amazwe njengo Total no Sasol ukuthi zize zizobhubhisa ingcosana lesele nayo.
The oil industry in South Africa has been around for 100 years.
Imboni yeza ko-oyela la esedlula amakhulu eminyaka.
And continues to plunder the resources of this country.
Bayaqhubeka bathatha kwasani okuyizipho zombiwa phansi kwalelizwe.
Increasing the profits which are taken to London, to New York and Melbourne.
Baphakamisa inzuzo zabo abayithatha bagijime nazo baye nazo koNgilande ko-New York nakwamanye amazwe.
And yet we see that inequality and poverty in South Africa has increased by over 80%.
Kodwa siyabona ukuthi ukuhlupheka nokungalingani la eSouth Africa sekukhuphuke kwadlula amazinga angaphezulu ka-8.
So the bill is not going to address that. We must be honest with people.
Ngakho lo mthetho sivivinyo awuzile ukuzosiza ayi asikhulumeni iqiniso kubantu.
And when you allow the oil and gas to enter the ocean,
Uma uvumela imboni ka-oyela no-gas ukuthi ingene laphaya zolwandle.
those oil drills come with specialized skill, special jobs.
Lokhu kugubha kumbiwa kulanda lomnotho kulengcebo kufuna amakhono athile ochwepheshe.
It's not going to employ anybody because they won't have the skill, they are not trained, and they will bring people from overseas to do the
Akuzuqasha
job.
umuntu ngani ngoba abantu abanawo amakhono abanaso isipiliyoni sokulanda lomnotho phansi kodwa kuzolanda abantu phesheya ukuthi mabazosebenza la.
Come to South Durban where we have Engen, Shell and BP, Total. Everybody has lost their job. The only benefit has been the pollution and the health problems of asthma and cancer.
Asiye laphaya eSouth Durban la khona kuno engine no BP abantu balaphaya abazuzanga amathuba omsebenzi ngaphandle ukuthi bathola izifo zofubo asthma o cancer kanye nokuthi bangcolisela umoya wabo.
all the fish has been destroyed in South Durban through the oil and gas that has been pushed into the canals, into the ocean. Thousands of fish have been killed.
Inhlanzi kade zilaphaya ziputshiswe zaphela nya zibulawa ilo oyela ophinde uyofakwa khona laphaya olwandle.
The bill is all about pushing the big oil companies to continue on an easy way, a quick way, hurry up way, and to get the oil and gas from our country, and it won't benefit the South African public. It's going to be for the export market for people overseas.
Lo mthetho sivivinyo ke uyaphendla ukuze nezegesi zamazwe angaphandle zizothatha zizohwaphuluza zizoshaqa ngokusheshsha
Okay, too bad.
zizoshaqa ngokusheshsha umnotho wethu kungazuza abantu kodwa kuhanjiswe emazweni aphesheya futhi ale kude
What we need,
esidingayo
we don't need a new bill.
asidingi umthetho wesivivinyo omusha.
We need the current bill, but we need the current bill that's there to protect the citizens of this country.
Sinawo umthetho ovikela izakhamuzi zalelizwe.
We have to take people along. If we want to improve their lives, then this bill must be rejected by all of us.
Asihambeni nabantu ke uma ukuthi sifuna ukusiza abantu lo mthetho sivivinyo kufanele siwuchithe sonke.
We know that the traditional healers, bayapalaza amanzi, bayabaptize amanzi. Ibona bazoslupeka khona lapho. So
We know that our traditional healers do their rituals by the sea and they will suffer the most when this is allowed.
we know that our fishermen that are fishing, over 25,000 fishermen on this coastline, they are going to lose their jobs and they're going to lose the food if oil is allowed here.
Abadobi abazinkulungwane ezimbili nanhlanu nangaphezulu abayiphilisa ngokudoba kulolugu lwethu bazophelelwa imisebenzi ngeke basabakwazi ukuzondla.
We know that the people that are employed, there's over 1 million people employed in this coastline. They will lose their jobs if the oil and gas is allowed here because it will destroy everything.
Isigidi sabantu abayimiliyoni abaqashiwe la kulolugu bazolahlekelwa imisebenzi yabo nempilo yabo uvivinyo
So
suphasile.
pansi ngale bill, pansi.
Down with this bill therefore.
Order, let us give the other speaker a chance.
Asinikeze esinye isikhulumi ithuba.
The meeting that we have invited you to, it's yours, we take your opinions, but please, once more, be considerate.
Angeke ngibe mude.
I won't be long.
Mhlambe ngimude mina kodwa ngizoba mfishane.
I may be told, but I promise you I'll be brief.
Angiqale ngokubingelela nje umphakathi ohluphekile futhi ocindezelwe
May I
ukuthi
greet
uphume
the
ngobuningi bawo vela.
impoverished and the oppressed community that you came out in numbers.
Bese ngibingelela abaphathi bethu abaphambili.
Greetings to our leaders in front.
Mhlambe before ngiqale nje ngicela ukubonga ngokuyilungisa indaba ye language ngibonga kakhulu.
Before I proceed, thank you so much for intervening with the interpretation issue.
Ngoba lento yolimo lwethu ezabantu abamnyama uma singakhona ukuaccommodate ke into enjengalesi ingahle iqhathisizwe leyo nto leyo.
When our language does not get accommodated in meetings like this, it's quite explosive.
Ngoba kuba ngazuthi khona abantu ababalekile kunabanye.
Because it's like there's more important people than others.
Ngisacela ukungena kuyona ke le yebill.
May I get to the bill?
Ngizothi mhlawumbe la sinaba abantu abawo fishermen nami ngizalwa ngikhuliswe umdobi.
I would say there are fishermen in the house. I was also raised by a fisherman myself.
So le bill le ibukeka izolimaza noma izohlukumeza abazali bethu abasikhulise kanzima besiphilisa besikhulisa ngayo imali abayenza ngokudoba.
This bill appears to disadvantage our parents who raised us through fishing.
Kuningi abangasitsheli khona njengamanje. Lento ngicabanga ukuthi lokhu yaqala ngokuthi ku-introduce into okuthiwa Operation Phakisa.
Not much is shared now, but I believe this emanates from Operation Phakisa.
Uphakisa kusho ukuthi shesha, kuyashesha.
Phakisa simply means hurry up, move fast.
By the time siqala sithi sibuka ulwandle, sizobe singasenalo ulwandle, singasenawo futhi ama-minerals akhona la ulwandle, singasenazo iy'lwane ey'phila olwandle, ngokukhulu ukushesha njengoba kuyi-Operation Phakisa le.
By the time we realize we would have lost our seas, our sea, the animals and the ecosystems around the sea would have lost it all.
Siyacela kuney'ndawo ey'bizwa ngama-MPAs.
There are places regarded as MPAs.
Siyayithanda lezo indawo ngoba zisigcinela ofish bethu ukuthi belokhu beqhubeka benzeka.
We love those places because they create a safe environment for fish to thrive.
Kodwa into eyinkinga iqala lama sekuzocindezelwa abadobi olwandle.
The problem only begins when fishermen are being oppressed.
Indawo yabadobi sincane kakhulu.
The fishing space has been limited a great deal.
Ofish ababadobayo bayakalelwa.
There is a certain number of fish that people can take,
Abazali bethu abasakwazi ukusondla kahle manje.
and then our parents can no longer be responsible for us any longer.
Ngoba umuntu uhamba nofish ababili noma abathathu ngosuku uma wa-exceeda lapho sekumele uboshwe.
Because you are confined and limited to 1 or 2 fish per day, you exceed that, you must be arrested.
Ubanike umuntu ongaphila ngamali yofish abathathu abadayisile ekhaya bese sidlana.
The sale of 1 or 2 fish can really sustain and feed a family. What are we going to eat?
Uma ke sivumela ibill yethu ingakhulumi kahle bese ivumela ongxiwankulu abasuka ngaphandle bezomba ulwandle lwethu iqala lana ke inkinga.
Then when we begin to allow a bill that does not talk to us, but that just creates an environment for foreign capital to come and exploit,
Ulwandle lwethu kuyimanje vele lugcwele indle lingcolile.
our sea is already filled with filth as we speak, with waste. It's filled with waste.
Abantu abakwazi ukuyoyibhukudela olwandle ngoba vele lungcolile.
Our sea is dirty. Our people cannot enjoy swimming any longer.
Uhulumeni wethu phezulu kwalokho uzoletha inkampani ukuthi ayizogubha uoyela olwandle.
Over and above that problem, our government wants to bring oil giants to come and mine oil and gas from our sea.
Asitshelwa kububi bazo zonke lezi zinto omele zizokwenzeka kodwa sitshelwa ngama job opportunities ukuthi kunemsebenzi ezovela la.
We're not told of the consequences we will suffer, but only job opportunities is being highlighted.
Siyacela nikwazi ke lokhu ukuthi siyazi ukuthi leyo msebenzi le ayidalelwe thina.
Please know that we know that those jobs are not for us.
Ingane zabazali bethu laba bala ezikoleni njengamanje azikufundeli lokhu ukuthi how to drill for oil.
Our children that are in the schools right now are not being trained how to drill oil.
So leyo nto iyinkinga ngoba kuzophinde kusuka abantu phesheya bezokwenza lo msebenzi bese thina njengabantu abamnyama sithola lento okuthiwa i-hard labor sifukuze kanzima ke sesithwala lo oyela sesusa la okumele suse khona.
And then we'll have to import skill from abroad, and we as local people, we only provide labor just to lift up oil from one place to the other.
Ubungozi balento kabasitsheli kuona.
The dangers of this proposed bill is not being clarified.
Kunamazwe angaphandle asekayizama lento ayenza yaqhuma lento lena nanamhlanje ulwandle lakhona lu brown lunamaphephesi awukwazi ukuclean ulwandle nanamhlanje basahluleka ukuclean amagagasi memuva amuva nezinto ezibrown ulwandle lungcolile ngoba lento abafuna ukuyenza la yaqhuma emazweni kodwa basitsheli uma beza la eMzansi basitshela ukuthi nje inhle lento iletha amathuba omsebenzi kodwa abasitsheli ukuthi iza nabuphi ubungozi.
Some countries have tried to delve in these oil and gas mining operations. They messed up their seas. When you come to us, you tell us about job opportunities. You don't tell us about the consequences and about some bad experiences that happened in other countries.
Sicela uhulumeni wethu abe nobuntu kithi.
We ask our government to have ubuntu towards us.
Komtuba abantu bayabulawa troyima yini.
Around Tubatuba, people are being killed for mining,
And abesifazane ke kokuwes.
including women, just to make the case worse.
Ngoba nakho benqaba ukusuka endaweni ukuze kuzombiwa ilahle.
Simply because they objected to be removed for coal mining.
Njengamanje yonke leyo nto iyabuyiza la olwandle
All
lethu.
that is now coming to the coast for our sea.
Njengamanje asizukuba no fish emzansi kuno fish abathile la eSouth Africa esaziwa ngawo kwamanye amazwe.
We have a lot of fish species, particularly in South Africa, that the whole world knows us for.
Uma sekwenziwa lento nifuna sisale nani olwandle.
Now, when we begin to mine our seas, what are we going to be left with? Actually?
Kumele sibe yizwe njalo elihlale likhalela abantu besuka abantu ngaphandle bezothatha izinto zethu behambe nazo na.
Should we always be a country that's always complaining and mourning about foreign people that come and take our resources and go?
Ngiyacela khona obaba nobhuti abakhulumile la ngendaba zama job opportunities ukuthi nabo bafuna u30% ukuthi bekwazi ukuthi besebenze olwandle since kuza lo msebenzi lo.
Other speakers who have spoken before me requested at least 30% of economic participation.
Uma ke kwenzeka bonke lobu bugebengu abafuna ukubenza ukuthi lento iyaqhubeka.
If this crime continues,
Siyacela ukuthi bebakhumbule labantu abanezinkampani bekwazi ukuthi nabo behlomule kulento le abazoyenza la emzansi.
please do remember and consider our people with companies already in this industry so that they also are given opportunities to benefit.
Nginithembise ukuthi sizolwa nani bafethu nina nifuna ukuzuza nanwandle.
I promise you, those of us who are living from the sea, we will fight together with you.
Ngoba into eyinkinga kakhulu uma uyinkampani yomuntu omnyama
The problem is that when it's a black-owned company,
uqhamuka upropose ukuthi ngifuna ukuzomba la olwandle
when you propose that you want to drill and mine here in the sea,
khohle ukuthi uyokuyithola leyo.
you will never get the license.
Kodwa
But
uma kusuka umuntu phesheya ko Italy ko England kephi eza ne-idea efana nsene yakho
when someone from Italy, from wherever abroad, coming with this very same idea as yours,
bayithatha ngoyelethu
they move with speed.
ngoba thina into yethu abayiboni ivelu kithi abantu ayisibabeke lapha phezulu ukuthi
Because
besiphathe.
they see no value in us, the very same people who voted them into power.
Into engiyicelayo ngicela umphakathi uhlanganeke manje.
I appeal to the community to unite.
Siyadingana more than ever manje.
We need each other more than ever.
Sifuna ukuyivala siyiqede yonke lento eyenzaka ukuthi abantu befike bezobona ukuthi i-ground lela kumele beyithathele khona izinto bese beyahamba
We
emzansi.
must stop this, that we become a playground for everyone.
Igolide limbiwa la lihambe lephesheya libuye selidulela obani.
We mine gold here, it's exported abroad, comes back very expensive.
Namanje sisacindezelwe ngaleyo information so abantu abamnyama bangayazi ukuthi amanye amazwe arich ngathi.
That information is not shared. We're being oppressed. That black people should not know that other countries are rich because of us.
Siyacela ukusenda imessage kubaba uGwede Mantashe kuyena ophezulu kuyo yonke lento.
Shall we send a message to Gwede Mantashe, who is responsible for this whole?
Kophela sofana.
Do I have to speak close?
Order, community members. Once more, I will keep on reminding ourselves about the time factor. Profound words that you are speaking, we are recording everything, but please just be considerate of time.
Sizocela kakhulu ke bantu bakithi njengoba besike siyacela ekuqaleni ukuthi ke isikhathi sisiqaphele kakhulu sinekane nje ke ithuba ngendlela ke elinganayo kulewo abakhulumayo ke la ngaphambili siyacela kakhulu.
Good afternoon, Portfolio Committee, and thank you for coming to our district.
Sibingelele ke amalungu ke eParliament akhona ngaphambi kwethu sifune sinibonge futhi ngokuthi ke nize endaweni ke sihlala kuyo.
My name is Joan Gallagher, and I represent an NPC called the Green Net.
Igama lami ke nginguJoel Gamalakhe ngiphuma ke lapha ke embuthweni waziwa ke Green Net.
I was very disturbed to notice on the summary of the document that you gave, under background number 1.1, the main concern is the stability and security of investors.
Ye ngaphazamiseka kakhulu ke mangibuka ke lapha ya ngesikhathi kwenza ke uhlelo okanye ke imuva layo ke indaba ke le uyethula phambi kwethu lapha ke unumber le 3.1 mayelana ke nalabo ke abazobe betshala ke izimali kulolu hlelo.
I reject the bill for many reasons. One of them is that this bill places too much power in the Department of Mineral and Resources and doesn't mention protecting and conserving the environment.
Ngithi ke nje cha angivumelane ke inhlobo ke nale kumthetho ke oyisivivinyo isizathu ke salokho ukuthi ke unikeza amandla amakhulu kuhulumeni kodwa ke awukhulumi ke lutho ke inhlobo ngalabo ke abazotshala ke izimali baphinde ke bahlomukele ke abangaphandle kwakhe ke uhulumeni.
Our wealth is our people, all of us in our country.
Umnotho ke wethu ke ungumnotho ke wabantu thina ke sonke ezwenikazi ke lethu.
According to the Constitution, we have the right to a clean and healthy environment.
Ngokomthetho sisekelo ke wethu ke sinelungelo ekuthenini ke ezemvelo kwezethu zihlanzeke.
This would benefit everybody, and to that end, I note that tourism
Lokho kuyosiza kuphinde kulekelele ke wonke umuntu ngiphinde futhi ke ngibhekisise ke lapha ke ngasohlangothini ke lwezokuvakasha.
also on the ocean's economy under Operation Pakisa is promoting the green economy.
Nabo ke futhi ngasohlangothini ke lokuzokuvakasha ke bayayiseka kakhulu ke indaba yokuthi ke umnotho ke lo obhekelele ngasohlangothini ke lwezemvelo mawunakekele uphinde kuvikelwe ke kakhulu.
Last week, I attended 2 high-level tourism roadshows, and they were very for training up tour guides and supporting the fishermen and diving and everything to do with what can benefit everybody.
Sontweni ke ladlulile ngeke ngavakashela ke ezinye ke izinkundla la ebekukhulunyiswana ke khona ke ngalo ke lolu hlelo la abakhombiswa khona ke kwelekelela kakhulukazi ngasohlangothini kulabo abasebenza ke la ogwini emanzini abenza komsebenzi wokudayiva.
Having a look at the ocean and seeing an oil rig is not going to help any of that.
Sengibhekile ke izinhla ke sengisiphawulile ke phambi kwenu ngiyabona ukuthi ke lo umthetho sivivinyo awuzukulekelela ke enhlobo.
My understanding is that according to the Paris Accord, we signed up as a nation to have no future oil and gas drilling.
Ngokwazi ke kwami emlandweni ke sinemvume okanye ke sivumelano ke sasayinda ke phambilini esithi ke akukho okuyovunyelwa ukube kufike ezweni lethu laseNingizimu Afrika kuzombiwa ke igas okanye ke woyela ngaphandle kwemvume yethu.
Although 10 years ago, when Operation Pakisa was started, licenses to 90 to 95% of our coastline was sold mainly to international companies.
Sikuveze ke futhi ukuthi ke esikhathini ke singakanani ke sedlulile ngesikhathi ke uqala ke lolu hlelo lwaziwa ngePhakisa kuye kwadayiswa ke izimvumo kanye kama license amaningi ebantwini kabaningi futhi ke bahlukahlukene.
Passing this bill or engaging with it too far will only encourage further gas and oil exploration, which is not going to benefit the people of the country.
Ukushaya ke umthetho ololu hlobo kuzoqhubekizela ke phambili ukucindezeleka kwalabo ebebenganalutho ke eqaleni kuphinde futhi kungavezi kamathuba angase kasize ukulekelela labo ke abasacindezelekile.
Furthermore, there has been a historic treaty signed on Saturday for the Global Biodiversity Forum.
Sukela ngesabatho kanye ke umgqibelo ila ke okuhlalwe khona phansi kuboniswana ke ngohlelo olingenziwa ukulekelela ukwenza ke ngcono isimo ke sempilo ke phakathi kwabantu ke abahlala ke South Africa ngokuhlukahlukana kwabo.
This bill commits us to trying to raise the protected areas of oceans to 30% by the year 2030.
Lo mthetho kwesivivinyo unikezela ke amandla angasilekelele ukuthi ke enyakeni ka-2030 kube khona ke abantu abaningi abangase ke bakwazi ukuhlomula kulolu hlobo ke lo mthetho kwesivivinyo ke ohlongozwayo.
These protected areas are where the fish are allowed to breathe without disturbance, and they really need to provide a source for the future. We're not talking about 5 years, we're talking about 500.
Lezi zindawo ke ezivikelekileyo zizindawo ke la izinhlanzi ezikwaziyo khona ukuthi ke zande ngendlela ke engaphazamisekile kuyokwazi ukuthi ke kulekeleleke lokho esikhathini esizayo ebantwaneni bethu uma ngabe nabo sebedinga ukuthi ke baphinde bahlomule ngazo ke izinhlanzi.
Therefore, I reject this bill and I ask Parliament and all its portfolios to work harder to developing our ecotourism destination, which would benefit everybody on the ground. Thank you.
Ngikusho ke ngingahlonisi ukuthi ke umthetho wesivivinyo Ngikusho ngingahlonisi ukuthi umthetho wesivivinyo ke uhlongozwayo angivumelane ke enhlobo ke nawo ngithi ke nje cha awungaqhubeki phambili kodwa ke iParliament malenze ke isiqiniseko sokuthi ke libuyela ke emuva liyobhekisisa kahle ukuthi ke iziphi indlela ongahlonyeliswa ngazo ukuthi ukwazi ukulekelela abantu bakithi ke ngendlela ke efanelekile. Siyabonga.
Ngiyabingelela umphakathi, ngibingelele nabake wankulu multinational companies.
I'm against the use of multinational companies that are owned by a white monopoly capital
Ngoba okokuqala bafuna ukukhokha intela lokho siyakwazi.
because they are well known of evading tax. We know of those things.
Okwesibili umuntu omnyama la eSouth Africa nje abamazi ngalutho ukuthi uyilutho.
And secondly, if you are black in this country, you are known for nothing. You are taken into no disregard.
Lezi nkampani ezila ekukhulu nje umuntu wase South Africa zifuna ukumshiya engelutho engenakwani zithatha konke okukhona zihambe nako.
These multinational companies take everything that belongs to South Africans. Therefore, when they take everything, they leave us with nothing to share.
Kanti nemvelo ziyayimosha ke zinjalo nje.
They also damage our environment.
Sicela nohulumeni adlale indima.
We are asked that the government plays a huge role in that.
And ibill ithi thina sizosala no 20% bona bahambe no 8.
The bill is stating that we are going to be left with 20% and they are going to leave with at least about 80%.
Ekubeni ke kungekho kwani ke thina ke sosala nayo okuvikela umuntu omnyama nokuthi kudaleka amathuba emisebenzi. Umuntu omnyama uhlala nje njalo ecinezelekile.
Therefore, that means that we will be left with nothing in this country as black people. It simply means that we'll remain marginalized as it used to be on the previous years.
Ngoba enye into uma sike sasho isithethe singaphambili uma ufuna ukukha ngisho isihlabathi emfuleni uyamiswa.
There's been mentioned before this parliament that
Kodwa make
even if you want
kwafika-
to extract anything from the sea, you are told that you don't have permission to do so.
Kodwa make kwafika kwelinye ibala kuba yilethu avunyelwe.
But if there's a person coming from a different racial group, they allow those individuals to go ahead.
Siyacela ke ukuthi nje le bill nje hayi angizwa angivumelani kakhulu mina nayo.
I'm going to register before you that I'm opposing the bill.
Ngiyabonga.
Thank you.
Ngiyanibingelela nonke ngaphakathi. Bingelele ngokukhethekile iParliament.
I greet everyone in the house and I would like to take a separation greeting for our parliament.
Mina ngisenhlanganweni okuthiwa Coastal Links KZN.
I'm representing an organization called Coastal Links in KZN.
Ngu-deputy chair khona.
I am a deputy chairperson in that particular organization.
Ngiphinde futhi ngizoba u-conservational officer
I am also a conventional officer
la ku-Ugu under EPWP
It's-
fisheries.
at Ugu ngaphansi kwe-EPWP Fisheries.
Ngizokhuluma nje ngalento yabadobi ngoba ngibone ngathi ibona aba affecteka kakhulu abadobi. So le bill lena na cha nama angihambisani nayo.
I'm going to speak mainly on the parts of the of those who are doing fishing, simply because I think this bill is affecting the fishermen more than it does with any other individuals. So I'm going to register also before I begin to say that I'm opposing the bill also.
Ngoba omunye ubhuti uke wakhuluma ngeoperation Pakisa sathola ukuthi i-operation Pakisa kukhona i-agreement eyenziwayo neChina lana eSouth Coast sine side in run every year uma ngabe kuyi-winter sine side in run eqoqa abantu abaningi umhlaba wonke bazobuka le side in run abanye basuka ko Cape Town bezosukela le side in.
One of my brothers who spoke before me has registered concerns in terms of the bill, simply because we do have a run that we organize along the coast, and there are many people or individuals who come from different parts of South Africa to attend that particular tournament.
Leso sivumelwane ke esenziwa neChina, iChina yakha umkhumbi ofika la olwandle ongaqashi ngisho oyedwa umuntu wale South Africa okwazi factory lo mkhumbi uzibambela wona isayidini uphinde ubambe kwa fish kwanenzi khona phakathi kuwona umkhumbi.
There was an agreement reached in the Chinese Republic to say that they allow to come to our coast and work without any permission given to them or without any knowledge given to the public as to what happens when those permissions are given. They do everything on their own, and they don't employ or give opportunities to the people of the locals.
Enye ke inkinga enkulu ukuthi nolwandle lwethu olunye u30% walo lwala eSouth Africa lo onwa iUnited States of America nomhlaba futhi omunye u30% uonwa iUnited States of America.
Our other concern is that even our sea in this country and in this coast is not owned by us, but it's simply owned by a country by the name of United States of America, including the shares that they have there. We don't own our sea.
Ngangokuba kulonyaka ophelile bathe ama marine protected areas bafuna ukuwa extender ngo 3%. Uma ngabe be extender ama marine protected areas ngo 3% kusho ukuthi thina abadobi abancane asisakwazi ukuthi sithole indawo zokudoba ngoba ama marine protected areas ayasivimbela siyabulawa. Bakhulumile ngesimangaliso, isimangaliso kunama cases abantu abashonayo bebulawa ngoba befuna ukuyodoba khona ama marine protected areas.
We were also informed in terms of the intention or the will from their side to extend the marine fishing protectors, to say that they want to extend them or to strengthen them. But the issue that we have with them is that we can't access those areas ourselves as people who don't have those huge licenses to allow us space to fish there. Now, there are some of our members who experience bad treatment when they go to fish in those particular areas, and some of them has been subjected to murders.
Ekuvikeleni kwemvelo njengamanje into esixake kakhulu sixakwe ama nappies.
In terms of protecting our environment, our main concern, or what concerns us currently, is the dumping of pampers in those particular places.
Wonke lama pampers uma edampiwe adampa kuma estuaries emihosheni ayahamba wonke lama pampers ayongcolisa imifula aphinde ahamba ayongcolisa nolwandle.
All these pampers, when they're being dumped into these places, or rather into these streams, they flow straight to the ocean. And then what they does, they pollute the ocean to an extent that you can't even make use of it because of high levels of pollution that comes with dumping of these pampers.
Leto ke sesikhulume kakhulu ukukhona usisi oke wabakhona la esebenzisana naye esisebenza naye kwa SO conservational officers. Siyahamba izikole sihamba yonke indawo ngoba sifuna ukuthi imvelo ivikeleke sambe sifundisa izingane ezikoleni. Kodwa manje uthola ukuthi ke manje na ke le bill lena nayo uma siyibheka lokuchitheka kwa oil kuzokwenza izinto eziningi ngoba Siyabafundisa nokuthi ufish uma ngabe bewuthola omkhulu bewuthola olwandle ufile bangawuthathi bawudle lo fish ifunala ukuthi basithinte sikwazi ukuthi sibize okufanele bawuthathe bayolahla ngoba njengoba ufile nje ukhona into oyidlile errong manje lamafutha ke azochitheka lana azovikelwa kanjani ukuthi angababulali labo fish nayi inkinga enkulu esinayo.
There are deliberations that you are having with my colleagues, and that includes also doing public outreach in terms of educating our people on how to handle issues of the coast. So there have been situations whereby you will find that people, they go to the sea or to the coastlines, and they will find fishes dead along the coastlines, and they will just take them for consumption. However, those fishes, it is believed that before you take that fish and use it for consumption, you must be able to account as to what caused the death of that particular fish. If you can't account for that, it means that you are putting your life in danger if you are consuming a fish that you don't know what caused its death. So we're teaching our people in terms of understanding as to what to do when they come along those things. So we're saying to them, they must take those fishes, they must bring them to us, and then we'll go and report before they can able to consume such fishes.
Kusukela ngo 1652 kufika uYan van Riebeeck
As from 1652, when Jan van Riebeeck came to this country,
umuntu omnyama akakaze akwazi ukuzidobela adayise ilungelo bengalitholi sonke lesikhathi ilungelo size salithola ngo 2019.
a black person in this country was never afforded an opportunity or a right to go and fish in this country freely. It took many years up until the year of 2019, where at least we were then afforded an opportunity and a right to be able to fish in our coastlines.
Kungenzeka kanjani ukuthi ke sithi sesinikwe lelo thuba sesijabula sithi siyaqala siyasebenza bese lo lwandle lizobulawa ngcoliswa.
It is therefore concerning, and it raises questions as to how is it that in a short space of time when we've been afforded a right now to use our coastlines for fishing, all of a sudden we are told now that there's a project that is going to be brought, a project that we believe is going to pollute our seas and our oceans.
Emhlanganweni emningana ubaba uGwente Mantashe ngike ngaba khona emhlanganweni kade kuyona njengase Cape Town imhlangano mithathu engibe kuyona eCape Town last year.
In a number of meetings where Mr. Kwerimentashe was present, I was also present in those particular meetings. I think there were 3 of them. So we deliberated on those meetings.
Washo wathi lento yalombiwa kwa oil risk because in a disease kuningo khona kuyona risk nje.
He did make the mention of the fact that the project itself is a risky one. And he further extended to say that there are quite a number of uncertainty and things that may go wrong during when the project is being done.
Sengiphela ke mina bengicela ukuthi mhlambe uma kungenzeka lamathuba omsebenzi esinawo njengamanje eke sibheke wona sibambe wona okunokuthi siqale enye into mhlambe ezosibulalela wonke lamathuba emsebenzi esinawo.
I will conclude by saying, at least let us keep what we already have and stick with it, than rather to try something new that I believe is going to collapse even the opportunities, the job opportunities that are there and they are existing for something that we don't know what it's going to bring to us.
Ngoba siyazi ukuthi lana eSouth Africa sinenkinga yamathuba omsebenzi. Ngikhuluma nje izingane zifundile zihola o 350 rand ungenzani ngo 350 rand.
Because it is
Yipi gross ongayithenga ngo 350 rand.
because it is a well-established fact that in this country we have pupils who are well educated. Unfortunately, there's no employment in this country. They are given a grant of 350 rands and nobody can survive with a grant of 350 rands.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu.
Thank you very much.
Ngizothanda ukunibingelela nonke phakathi eholweni.
I would like to greet you all.
Ngizoqala ngibingelela chairperson of the session Ngibingelela bonke abaholi abahleli ngaphambili.
I will extend my greeting to the chairperson for our session and all members before me.
Ngibingelela bonke abantu abahleli ngala ngakwa left.
And I will greet all those who are seated on my left,
Ngako right wenu nami ngasemva kwethu.
also on my right and also behind me.
Engaliphiwa abazali igama uThami owakanyawo.
I am Tami Nyamba and that is my name that was given to me by my parents.
Angizoba mude kakhulu ngoba izikhulumo esezihleli phansi ngicathe sezikhave konke bengifuna ukusho.
I'm not going to be long because I believe that the previous speakers have already mentioned quite a number of things that I would love also to highlight.
Kodwa ebengithi ngifana ukuphakama nakho ilokhu lapha nje ku background 1.1.
The only concern that I would like to highlight is at background that will be 1.1.
Ukuthi ukhuluma nge safety and security for our investors.
That it speaks about the safety and security on the part of the investors.
But awukhulumi ngama safety and security awethu abahlali esila South Africa.
However, it does not make mention of the safety and security on the part of us as residents.
So ngiyacabanga ukuthi kwa government lo sesiphethe wethu akasithathi serious. And into edala ukuthi nawo ama investors lana angabathathi serious ngoba kwayena akasithathi serious abantu bezela eMzansi.
Which therefore makes me to believe that our government is not taking us serious, including the investors themselves. They will not see the need to take us serious because our own government is not taking us serious.
Akukwazi ukuthi ugovernment istate sonke si kufika abantu bazosho ukuthi thina sizothatha 80% of iprofit nina bese nisala no 20% and bese baphinde bagcizelela bathi only u10% abantu abamnyama bazofuna ukuthi baparticipate lapha kodwa manje and now government uyabuya manje uzohlala nathi emphakathini uzositshela lokho ukuthi bazosala no 20% and futhi nina 10% kuzoba abantu abamnyama. What happened to the 90% and what's going to happen to the other 80%?
It doesn't sit well with us as the citizens of this country when we are told that the 80% profit is going to be taken by those multinational companies. And for us as the residents of this country, we are only afforded a 20% quota. And it doesn't sit well with us because even our government, instead of them speaking on our behalf, they don't do that. They just come here and inform us of what the investors have already spoke and told them that we are going to be afforded 20% and the 80% is going to be given to multinational companies.
So ingakho kuzoba lula ukuthi sisho ukuthi we are rejecting this bill.
That is why it's going to be easy for us to just say that this bill stands to be rejected from our part.
At least ke mengakhulunywa nawo lama investors azo invest kuthina akube u50% nakhona sisathi at least minimum akube u50% 50% ngoba azohamba lama investors aphindele emazweni abo and then ugovernment usesala nalabantu abagulayo nale infrastructure ezobe seyilimele isisalela bona bazoyithatha imali yokulungisa konke lokho imali seyihambile 80% wonke.
In case there is a chance that we agree to this particular proposed bill, we are asking that the portfolio committee goes back to the investors and revise it, and then they come back with a much improved content, because it cannot be that us as citizens of this country are told that we are going to be getting 20%. We are at least proposing 50. If we are given 50%, then there is a chance that we can agree to this particular bill. Because what is going to happen is that these people are going to take everything that they're going to be extracting in our coastlines, and they were going to take those things into their own countries. And there are people who are going to be left in these countries with consequences, and some of them will be sick, and our infrastructure and our environment will be polluted, and no one is going to be accounting for that.
So indaba yami ngizobela ngoba ngithanda ngifuna ngibamude ngifuna ukuba mfishi. So singathi siya reject.
So the bill, I'm not going to be long. All that I need to register before you is that the bill stands to be rejected from my part.
Okugcina bese ngihlala phansi ukuthi sizocela ukuthi bonke laba bantu laba aba satisfied ngokuthi country ihamba kahle bahlale ezindlini bese sicela ukuthi laba abathi bona country ayihambe kahle and badinga isolution ngokushesha abasijoyine ngomhla ka-20 March sizobe sifake i-national shutdown.
Lastly, before I sit down, I would like to register and make it known to the public that those who feel that our country is being run very well, they should stay in houses and not worry themselves about going out. But those who feel that our country is not being run well, they should join us on the 20th on our national shutdown. Thank you.
At this point, the speaker did not disappoint me like the others who said they are going to be short and then they became long, but he did well. At this point, we are at the end of our submissions. However, I have noted that there were 2-3 people who wanted to come through. That can take any other submissions, written or otherwise, at the moment for that purpose. We are going to further discuss after we have finished all the other provinces. So for purposes of concluding our business of today, in as far as your submissions are concerned, very insightful, very impactful, and also a question of the community participation is highly appreciated and noted. Ayanda boss or the ladies around here with the gentlemen would be prepared to take any other submission that we have. I would like to hand over to the committee chairperson for a way forward from henceforth. Thanks, Chair.
Sibonge kakhulu kwisikhulumi esikhulume ngaphambili ngongicitha isikhathi sibonile ukuthi kunabantu abathathu abebesafisa ukuthi benzeke ukuzethulo ngaphambili kodwa sizocela ukuthi leli tafula elingapha kwesokudla balisebenzise ukuhambisa ke khona lokho bafisa ukukhuluma ngabe ke bazokubhala noma bazofike bakhulume ke nabo ebese sicela ke ukuthi umhlangano simangabe siwuvala size ke izethulo ke zokugcina ke siyabonga sizohlala phansi usihlalo ebese ke esinika kumhlahlandlela siyabonga.
Thank you very much. The presiding chair of this meeting, Tammy, is it Tammy who was here? The chair says you spoke so well. So there is no except. It said you spoke so well. So I take it that you spoke so well. What does so well mean? It means you spoke so well. I'm looking forward to see the last part. How is it going to be written here? Because no one disputed it. So it means it has to be written as a submission too. Yes.
Sibonge kakhulu ke kunsabe ukhulumile ngaphambili uthole ke inqombo ezinhle ukuthi ukhulumeke kahle kakhulu ke phambi kwethu osukwini la namhlanje lokho kasazi ukuthi kuchaza ukuthini kodwa ke sizokuthatha kuyindlela kubekwe ngayo ukuthi cha ukhulumeke kahle enza ke izethulo zakhe ngaphambili ke osukwini ke la namhlanje.
Let me thank everyone who participated and who came to these public hearings.
Sibonge kona wonke umuntu ofikele ke phambi kosuku la namhlanje ukuzolalela nokuzokwenza ke noma ukuzothula ke imbono yakhe lolu suku la namhlanje.
We must give credit where it's due. In many places where we go, people speak completely outside of what is contained in the bill.
Kubalekile ukuthi sihloniphe kakhulu ke abantu abasuke beyiphatha ngendlela ke eyamukelekile ngoba ke indaweni ehlukahlukene abantu baye batholakala bekhuluma ke izinto ke eziseceleni engahlangene nalokho esuke size ngakho.
From where I'm sitting, I can safely say 80 to 90% of most of you who came here and spoke on the mic were exactly on what the bill contains.
Ngokubuka ke mangikhuluma ke la ngihleli khona ngisho nje ukuthi ke ama-percent mhlambe ke u80 kuya ku90 abantu abakhuluma ke phambi kwesuku namhlanje bakhuluma ke ngqo kulomthetho ke sivivinyo ebesizokhuluma ngawo.
Now here is the process from now going forward. Please listen very attentively.
Indlela ke yomhlahlandlela ke esizoqhubeka ngayo ke ile engizoyisho ke njengamanje ngizocela ke futhi ukuthi nilalele ke ngokukhulu ke uSithole.
One, when we are done with all the 9 provinces, KZN is the 3rd province. When we are done with all the 9 provinces, We will then go back and convene now a portfolio committee and first adopt the report of what transpired in all the 9 provinces.
Okuzokwenzeka ukuthi ke sizobuka ke wonke zonke izifundazwe ke indlela ke ezobeke zenzeke izethuluke ngayo lesithathu sizobe sesibuyela ke emuva sohlala phansi njengekomiti bese ke siyabheka ukuthi izethulo ezenziwe izifundazwe ke ngasinye zime kanjani.
We will look at what were the dominant views on the bill.
So bese sibheka ukuthi ke imbono okuyona ke ehambe phambili ngesikhathi ke senza ke izethulo ke kube yimiphi.
But also, we will have another round where we will deal clause by clause of the bill.